Today on the Music Reel, I've got Michael and Mark with me again, and we're going to talk to you about, as a live music business, what's the easiest way to actually manage your accounts? Now, with this latest lockdown situation, everyone's had to scramble to get their taxes up to date so that they can qualify a job seeker or job keeper. So now that we're looking at perhaps returning in July, what are the best ways for you to track your business so that, at any point, if you need to provide your figures, you've actually got access to that straight away? And I think a lot of the challenges we have with artists is not particularly staying on top of their accounts. So we thought we'd talk to you guys today about that and perhaps give you some little tips about making that a bit easier for you. So we might start with Michael. What do you do, Michael?
Well, look, I have an accountant because I'm not a super, the tax laws change all the time, and so many different things as a business that you need to be aware of all the time. So I actually find it far more beneficial to have an accountant. So what I still have to be personally responsible for adding in my invoices, keeping track of the acts in my, the guys in my band when I pay them. I've still got to do all my receipts. I've got to put that into a special Excel spreadsheet, which is the same basically as accounting software like Xero or something like that. But I have all those records, and it does all the formulations for me. And I send that through to him, and we sit down, we go through it and make sure there's no mistakes and make sure that we're doing everything right. I just found with, all that sort of stuff always changes all the time, and having an accountant that is actively involved in your business will actually help you to notice, I'm spending too much money here. I can stop spending money here. I can invest in my business here to make it better over here. So all those little things, accountants are they're basically like financial advisors for your business. And it's such an important part of my business. Even with all the COVID-19 stuff and all that sort of stuff going on, my accountant has called me, not that he has to, but he's called me every week to check in on me, check how I'm going, make sure that I've done my forms and filled this out and filled that out. All those certain things just to make sure that we're on top of it all the time. And for me, it's such an important investment into my business, having a really good accountant that can help me get through all that sort of stuff.
No, that's good. Mark, what do? You don't use Excel. What do you use?
No, look, for a long time now, actually since I changed my company over to Proprietary Limited, I've been using Xero, which is much the same as MyOb or any of those other sort of programs. Pretty much the exact same idea as having a really well formulated Excel sheet, except that Zoom or whatever platform you're using actually just make life a lot more easy and a lot more streamlined. What you'll find with Zoom or MyOb, etc., is that your bank statements are actually streamlined into your accounts. So you've actually got a real-time ratio in front of you of what's coming in, what's going out, where stuff's missing. I find, I think it's about $50 a month. But that said, yet again, that's a tax write-off. And the organisational side for me didn't really come about until I had a product like that under my hands. Just little things like reminders. Hey, this invoice is now, 3 weeks overdue. You might want to have a look into that and chase it up. It's just all those little things that you can very, very easily forget about are sort of reminded to you very quickly. I suppose the benefits of having something like Zoom or MyOb for bigger businesses is just, as we said before, that streamlined compatibility. Most of these things have single touch payroll. So once if you've got 5, 10, people that employees for your company, once that stuff's in the system, it's just a matter of hitting that button once every week and everything goes. So you don't have to sit there on whatever your banking platform may be doing individual payments to different companies or different people. I suppose more than anything, it gives me a lot of time back, as well as having to input all all my invoices straight into the system. You've just got everything at a glance right in front of you.
So my question for both of you is, so when we issue a contract to an act, how do you actually issue the contract straight into your Excel and your Xero, or do you wait until the invoice? Do you track the contract or the invoice? Which one do you track?
When I obviously, because I play mostly in a band, I have to notify, all my band members to let them know. So we have a Google Calendar that we all use just for all the gigs. So what I'll actually do is I'll actually do up all the gigs for them, and I've got all my calendar there of what's coming up, and then I go and input that straight away, so that for budgeting wise and that sort of thing, I know what I've got coming up, and I'm making sure that I'm not spending more than is coming in and those sort of things as well. So it gives me a chance to make sure that my finances are all sort of matched up, and I'm not going, how much money am I making? I think I got this here and that there.
Yeah.
I can see exactly what I've got coming up.
Okay, so what do you do, Mark? Do you track by the contract or by the invoice?
I'm a little bit different. I'm more off the invoice, but also because running a company, I've got 4 or 5, it could be 4 or 5 gigs a week for different people. So I find for me, the best process for me is to sit down on a Saturday night or a Sunday afternoon, something like that, and just go over the week and do that in one hit. That way it's all, and also when I can check my emails, it's all there in little blocks. So that's just my process.
So, the reason why I guess we're asking these questions is because I know there are some like little apps out there, but at the moment it's really hard for an artist to pay money per month for an app, when really you've got the ability to use G Suite, which we'll actually do a video on down the track. You can use that to track every aspect of your music business and either send the Google Sheet or Excel to your accountant, or it can actually import into things like Xero or QuickBooks. So I think what's important for us is to know that you're conscious of a tracking system for your gigs, because there's a lot of agents that we deal with out there that don't necessarily have that, and then it's really hard for them to pay us because there's things can sort of fall between the cracks. So if you can set up a system where you can track everything, you don't lose track of everything. You don't lose things. I think it's far better for your business. So look, thanks,
Absolutely.
Michael, and thanks, Mark. It's good to give these guys a perspective of different ways of running their accounts. And we will talk to you again very soon. See you later.
Bye-bye.